After terrorizing Los Angeles, Kenneth Bianchi and Angelo Buono seemed to vanish, but the killing wasn't over. When Bianchi followed his girlfriend to Washington, the murders started again. This time in the quiet town of Bellingham. His arrest there cracked the Hillside Strangler case wide open and exposed the twisted partnership that had tormented LA. What followed was one of the strangest trials in American history, complete with fake personalities, copycat attacks, and a killer trying to outsmart everyone. Tonight, we'll cover the downfall of the Hillside Stranglers, their convictions, and the bizarre aftermath that kept the story alive for decades. I'm Mike.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Dave. If you thought the murders were gross, stick around. Turns out this case also has a semen smuggling side story. Wait until you get a load of this. This is Necronomipod.
Browns may suck, always and forever. But this past weekend, the Pittsburgh Steelers wore the ugliest uniforms in the history of the NFL.
That's true. They were bad. Really bad.
I was just flipping through and I saw the game for a minute, and it took me a minute to recognize who it was. And then when I saw it was Pittsburgh, I was like, oh no. I love those rivalry uniforms they've been doing this year. I think we've said it on other shows.
Yeah.
Those ones are no good.
No. They should have left those back in 1933 where they were.
They wear those old leather helmets too with no... All my parlays were dead in the early games, so I did not watch any late afternoon games.
Who'd they play? It was Sunday Night Football, right?
Yeah, they played Green Bay.
Yeah.
Somehow the Browns beat Green Bay. I don't even understand how that happened.
Is Green Bay still the best team in the league, or one of?
No. Well, I mean, one of, yeah. Colts are probably the best team in the league.
The Colts.
Colts are fucking doing work.
Wow.
Yeah. They're 7-1, and they look unstoppable.
You could have given me 29 guesses, and I would not have picked them.
Yeah.
Wow. Shows how much I pay attention to football.
How about that?
I'll start paying attention after next Sunday. The next Sunday is the last NASCAR race of the year, championship race. And then after that, I'll start watching football. Unfortunately for me, that usually means the Browns are already way out of contention. But I'll start watching a little bit more on Sunday afternoons because, now I'm open.
But you don't have inflated expectations that are just going to be dashed at the end of the year. You already know.
Every year I tune in, they're
matter.
1-6, 1-7, 2-6, 2-5, whatever it is. What are they now? 2-6?
I think 2-6, yeah.
So after next week, they'll be 2-7, probably.
Correct. Well, we got a bye week, so.
Oh, of course.
They can't lose this week.
Okay. So they'll be 2-6
Mercifully.
when I start tuning in.
That's right.
My expectations will literally be none. They will end the season 2-14.
Those are appropriate expectations.
2-16.
2-15.
15. 17 games now. Are they adding an 18th game then in 2027 or late 2026, I think?
We talked about it.
Because the Super Bowl is now going to be President's Day weekend in 2027. I know this because NASCAR has moved their Daytona 500 from that weekend because it's on Fox 1 week back because of the Super Bowl. So if the Super Bowl is getting moved a week back, are they adding an 18? Is it 18 or 19? How many games are they playing on the NFL?
17.
Are they adding an 18th game?
They might be, right?
Or are they going to be
Based on
swell
that.
and maybe give a team 2 bye weeks?
They want to do more
That's not
international games, too, so.
Yeah. I think they're going to be adding an 18th game next season.
Is Bad Bunny going to be singing a national anthem for NASCAR Daytona next year?
In a word, no.
Okay, I'm just asking.
In
I like
2 words,
Bad Bunny.
probably not. I didn't know anything about him until WWE.
I know.
Yeah.
But that's why I like him, because he did all kind of WWE shit. And he actually took it serious and wrestled a match and stuff.
Well, and then I looked him up, And like, I don't really know anything about him and I don't listen to him, but his streaming numbers are insane.
Yeah.
Like the biggest.
Yeah. That's not like like when they would like push him as like one of the biggest or like the biggest artist, worldwide.
Yeah.
That wasn't like a Vince McMahonism, like trying to push him. Like they were for real on that.
And I didn't like it either at first because I was like, from the wrestling standpoint, I was like, who's this fucking asshole coming in thinking he can just be a part of the wrestling show?
That's how I felt.
And then
too.
I'm like, oh, I get it. He's bigger than like anything WWE has ever done.
We talked about him in the last couple of years, and one of you guys said he's just a DJ, and we got people like, you guys are imbeciles.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I didn't know
who that is.
I didn't know. Was that me that said it? I probably
don't know.
said it.
Somebody did.
It very well could have been me.
But
I just knew him. I knew him from wrestling. I'm like,
I think he's a wrestler.
they did an entire.
I'm pretty sure he's a wrestler.
They did an entire pay-per-view in Puerto Rico because of him.
Yeah. When he wrestled Damian Priest, like,
No, he helped Damian Priest, right? Because I think Damian Priest is Puerto Rican.
no, they'd had a match together or against each other at some point.
Oh, is that what it was? I don't remember.
I
It's a
think
little
so.
hazy.
Let me look that up.
Maybe they did. You're probably right. But yeah, and then I was like, oh, I guess this guy's pretty big.
That would be really funny to like talk to a Bad Bunny fan and be like, no, I'm pretty sure he's a wrestler. He's a wrestler.
He did some DJing, I think, at one point.
Did some DJing on the side, but he's a pro wrestler. I'm pretty sure you could look it up. It's Wikipedia says WWE.
Yeah, that Backlash. He
Was that the one in Puerto Rico?
yeah, it must be a San Juan street fight against Damian Priest.
Okay.
He was taking bumps though. Like he was
doing it.
Yeah.
He was doing it. Yeah.
He wasn't fucking around.
Yeah.
So I'll always be a fan of Bad Bunny for that.
You think he's gonna go through a table at the Super Bowl?
It'd be sweet if he did.
Triple H had his way. He'd be taking that that suplex through a TKO table. I had also heard that maybe it was a false thing, like that Adele was doing the Super Bowl.
No.
Was that not? Did I just get like duped by something?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe.
I like Adele.
I do like Adele, and then I like Adele better than Bad Bunny because I at least know Adele's music. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll watch that. And then next thing I saw it was Bad Bunny. I was like, oh, are they doing it together? And then that Adele thing just faded away. I think I just got duped. Fake news, pal.
Happens.
Speaking of not fake news, part 2, the Hillside Stranglers.
Yeah, where we left off last week, they split up at the very end. Angelo stayed in Los Angeles. Kenneth went with his soon-to-be wife that he proposed to.
No, that's special.
Remember, she was pregnant.
Yeah.
So
I think we could have left that bloodline and to be going nowhere, maybe. We don't need that continued.
And up to this point, they had killed 10 people.
Yeah.
And we'll get into some of that torture stuff later on and when we get to the trial, but very brutal. All the posing of bodies, stuff like that.
Vile.
So by February of 1978, when Kenneth Bianchi's son was born, his fiancee, Kelly, was done. She was done with Los Angeles, with Kenneth, and all of his lies. In March 1978, she left California for Bellingham, Washington, and took the baby. Kenneth panicked and begged her to change her mind. After a couple months, she agreed, but only if he moved to Bellingham and built a life there with her. In May 1978, Kenneth left Los Angeles and moved to Bellingham. That timed up with the Hillside Strangler murders stopping in Los Angeles after February 1978. Angelo stayed in California, just running his upholstery shop. And after that, after Kenneth moved, there were no more Hillside Strangler victims.
Some of these accounts I read said that Angelo pushed for him to move up there. Like, I don't know, maybe because of the heat in LA and I didn't get him out of town. But if that was your accomplice and all that, wouldn't it make you really nervous that this goofball nephew of yours is up in some other state doing God knows what? And maybe he'll get pulled over for doing something stupid and start blabbing. Like,
You're better off just killing him.
Yeah, how could you ever relax?
Yeah.
You just go back to work doing your thing like nothing
It's
happened.
gonna upholstery. Like, what are your downtime conversations like when you and your nephew go out and slaughter women?
Cousin.
Cousin, sorry. And I
yeah.
said nephew, yeah, cousin. Like, what do you do when you get back and have a beer? You just like, oh, that was fun.
Cool down beer.
Yeah, like,
After
what's
you
your-
just slaughtered someone, you're having a cool down beer for sure.
What's your off the job conversation like? Do you watch football together and stuff? It's weird. It's hard to envision like being in that situation.
Yeah. You just going home making pizza rolls, and just like sitting on the couch watching like Dateline and just eating pizza.
What's your downtime like? Weird. Aren't you always on edge that you watch this guy kill people? Aren't you always thinking like maybe he's gonna kill me when I'm asleep?
And he's thinking the same thing. So it's like you're both just on edge.
And it's not like it's like an accidental killing or like we're talking like brutal, like fucking horror movie type shit. Like,
Yeah, they didn't run someone over in the dark one night. And, yeah.
right. No, like some of these people they held for at least more than 24 hours. So yeah, you would think that'd be a weird conversation after this happened. Like
do they hug each other goodbye when Kenneth moves up to Washington? like Angelo's standing at the corner with a tear running out. They're like a sad song.
it seemed like Angelo was kind of happy to get him the fuck out of there, though. At least how he later tells it in trial and stuff. Yeah. Up in Bellingham, Kenneth tried to start over. And at first it looked like it might work. He rented a small house and got back with Kelly. He got a job with Wadacom Security, patrolling warehouses and stores. By August 1978, he was a security guard at a Fred Meyer shopping center where he befriended a young coworker named Karen Mandick.
Mother always said you can't be friends with women. Might accidentally spill your seed.
He kept chasing that career in law enforcement. Remember we said last week he was like one of those people that just always like he craved that power and stuff, and he figured being a cop was like the quick way to get it. He applied to be a reserve deputy with the Whatcom County Sheriff's Department and started police courses. On the surface, to everybody else, he's a 27-year-old dad working a security guard job trying to become a cop, but underneath nothing changed. He still had all the same urges. As 1978 turned into 79, his relationship with Kelly went back to the way it was. He wasn't faithful or honest, and at this point, she's just putting up with him for the child's sake.
I wonder if he wanted to do this move to get out from under Angelo. I bet Angelo saw the heat building because the task force was growing and stuff and put an end to this. And Kenny still wanted to kill people. He's like, well, if I go out on my own up there, he won't be telling me what to do.
Yeah.
View that as an opportunity to keep killing when Angelo made him stop. It's my personal view of the situation.
Clearly one of them wanted out, right? Otherwise they would have just stayed together.
Yeah.
On Thursday, January 11th, 1979, Kenneth planned to kill again, targeting Karen Mandick, that's his security coworker. She was 22, and her friend Diane Wilder, age 27, a student at Western Washington University. He came up with a one-night guard job. A house in the Edgemore neighborhood supposedly needed coverage while the alarm was being worked on. He said that the job would be $100 each for a couple hours. Karen had no reason to not trust Kenneth and brought Diane in on this. The job site was real. It was 334 Bayside Road, a large ranch-style home owned by Georgia Pacific executive William V. Catlow, who was out of the country. I could not find specifically like how Kenneth got into this place, but it was empty and, remote enough.
I read this as this company, Whatcom, his security company, probably does security for this guy's house too, and he had inside information or got the key from the office or the code from the office, something like that.
That sounds right.
That's how I took it.
That would make sense, especially if they were say that same company was servicing the alarm system. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. They ran the whole thing probably, so he probably had some inside information to kill the alarms or do whatever.
That evening, Around 7 p.m., Karen left her Fred Meyer shift on a long lunch break to do the job. She picked up Diane and they drove to the house in Karen's green 1978 Mercury Bobcat. They were supposed to be back by 9 p.m., but when they didn't come back, getting to like 11:30 p.m., the store manager was worried. Karen was very reliable and hadn't called. He called Steve, a campus security friend of Karen's who knew about the house sitting plan. She had mentioned it to friends even though Kenneth told her to keep it quiet. Steve and another campus security friend, a guy named Bill, started looking. They went by Karen and Diane's place that they rented together, but no one was home. They checked the Bayside house because, like I said, they knew, like they told her, she told her friends like where they were going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, Kenny didn't think that they would, right?
Right.
Genius.
That's another one of those, like, you told someone when I asked you not to.
What?
So they went by the Bayside house. The lights were off and they couldn't get inside. Nothing looked wrong outside. So they drove around to places that they thought the two might be, but they found nothing. After midnight, so that would be January 12th, 1979, Steve called Bellingham police and reported both as missing. When Bellingham officers heard about the supposed security job with Kenneth, they called the owner, Randall Moa. Moa called Kenneth to ask if he knew about Karen and Diane. Kenneth said that he'd been at a sheriff's reserve meeting that night and didn't know Karen Mantic at all, which that is ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
You can't lie like that.
Mother told me I'm not allowed to talk to girls. I don't know who that is.
The commander confirmed Kenneth had shown up, but said that he has to leave early to teach a class for his security job.
Oh, is that right? Okay, Ken.
Around 2:30 a.m. on January 12th, police spoke with Kenneth directly. He changed his story. He said he never went back to the meeting after leaving, and he drove around alone to relax, like just listening to music.
Yeah, that's always a good alibi. No one saw me. I just drove around for 4 hours to relax. Okay.
Bellingham Police Chief Terry Mangan ordered a full-scale investigation and put detectives Fred Nolte and Terry White in charge.
You know that Fred Nolte is actor Nick Nolte's brother.
No, it's not. No, you're not getting me on that.
Damn it.
Wow, that's a rare good win for Ian.
You sure? I think it might be. You sure about that? Do I have that?
You sure about that?
There it is.
All day, Friday, January 12th, police, they had a full-scale search out. Police interviewed friends, and they were also keeping an eye on Kenneth. At 4:30 p.m., a resident on a quiet street spotted a green Mercury Bobcat parked in a weird way at the end of a wooded cul-de-sac off Willow Road. It was Karen's car. Officers went out and found two women wedged into the back seat. It was Karen and Diane, and both had been killed. Because it was dark and wooded, the fire department brought floodlights and a crane to remove the bodies without disturbing evidence. Crime scene techs wrapped them in clean sheets to catch fibers and hairs. Both had ligature marks on their necks. They had been strangled, just like the Los Angeles victims. Police didn't have hard proof yet. Everything's circumstantial, but like they are zeroed in on Kenneth because his alibis are fucking garbage.
Come on, Kenny.
Well, he made up a fake job for these two victims that night. And then,
Smarten up, bud.
Yeah. Come on.
Maybe the only reason they got away with all the shit in L.A. was because of Angelo.
They probably smacked around like imbecile. We talked about that last week. Like
Yeah.
he'd be standing there not knowing what to do. He's just an idiot.
Charles Ng of the group.
That's it. And he's going to prove that here in a couple sentences.
Yeah.
So that night, Kenneth was working the guard shack at the port of Bellingham. The Whatcom security dispatch called him in. When Kenneth walked in, detectives were waiting. They took him in as their suspect. He had already messed up again. He hid Diane's coat near the shack. Police got the tip. I couldn't figure out. I really tried to figure out like who called this tip in specifically, but I couldn't find it other than the coat was jammed about 20 feet from his company's truck. So
Oh my God.
Criminal mastermind, this fucking guy.
This literally is a Three Stooges
It's
short.
exactly it.
Mr. Bean or something.
On Saturday, January 13th, 1979, while Kenneth was sitting in jail, Detective Fred Nolte made a call that broke the Hillside Strangler case open. He'd seen 1950 Tamarind Avenue, Hollywood, on Kenneth's California license, a Hollywood address that he remembered reading about in the Hillside Strangler news. Fred called the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, and by chance the call landed with Sergeant Frank Salerno, the lead investigator on the Hillside Strangler case. When Frank heard the name Kenneth Bianchi and the Tamarind address, he connected it.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. That's a bingo.
What is that from?
Inglorious, Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah.
You don't say it's a bingo. You just say bingo.
I've only watched it once. I need to watch that again.
I fucking love Brad Pitt is so great in that movie.
Yeah. He's good in everything he does, though.
He's great.
He's just one of those top-notch.
Buongiorno.
He's really good in that. What was the Charles Manson one? That was like
The Hollywood one.
Yeah, he's really good in that. I like
he's
the
great
movie.
in that. They're making a series
the
now.
Tarantino Hollywood one.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah.
Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
Is that with Leo, too?
Mm-hmm. He's
I like
his
that
stunt
movie.
man.
yeah,
That's been on the top of my list, but I just haven't watched
That's
it.
good.
I like that movie. It's cool.
There's a ton of Leonardo DiCaprio movies that I want to watch that I just don't.
They're filming a sequel right now.
So that
Yeah. But I think it's a series. Is it a series?
I don't know.
They're filming a
With the-
sequel.
With the TV actors? Or
With Brad Pitt.
With Brad
It's
Pitt.
like a side story on
like a
on
prequel
him,
type thing.
I don't
or
know if it's a
something.
prequel or not, but yeah, I'm not sure Leo's in it, but yeah, Brad
And
Pitt's
Quentin
in it.
Tarantino's involved?
That I do not know.
Or he's like a producer, maybe.
Maybe.
Who'll at least get some writing credit or something,
I'm
right?
sure.
Or
He
if
owns
it's
the
based off-
idea.
yeah. He's going to get something. He's going to get a payday.
Yeah.
I can't wait till they make Necronomicon into a movie. When someone wants to buy our movie rights,
Yeah.
that'll be a nice payday. That'll be when we ride off into the sunset. I want the guy who played Napoleon Dynamite to play me. Whatever his name was. I think he needs a payday.
What happened to that dude?
That's what I'm saying. And Quentin Tarantino can do it, and so there'd be a lot of feet things in it, right? Doesn't he have a foot fetish? Is that
Yeah,
his
he
thing?
likes Uma Thurman's feet.
I think he likes everybody's feet, all the women's
his
feet.
thing.
Yeah, I'm not kink shaming. I'm saying that's fine. That's great.
Is that guy still an actor?
Can we get Florence Pugh to play my love interest in the movie?
Of course we can.
I want to see Napoleon Dynamite dig down Florence Pugh in a movie, and it's just close-up shots of Florence Pugh's feet. That sounds awesome.
I like your toes or what? That dude was in is it the volleyball movie with Will Ferrell?
Yeah,
Is that what his volleyball?
he was in
With the-
some. Yeah,
He was also in that fucking weird that weird baseball movie with Rob Schneider and
John Hader.
Okay. Is he still around?
Wow,
what's that dude's name? Napoleon Dynamite.
John Heder?
Heder. Heder. Man, he's almost 50 years old.
That classic line from the Jay-Z and Kanye song.
Right?
No, it doesn't. Gets the people going. No, it doesn't.
Looks like he does a lot of voice work up until even last year. Like he's still pretty active.
All right, good for him.
Yeah.
Bench warmers. It's Rob Schneider, David Spade, and Napoleon Dynamite.
I don't even remember watching that one.
It's fucking absurd. It's got 13% on Rotten.
All right.
It sounds like the kid version of that fucking movie Beer League with Artie Lang and
Beer
Norm
League,
Macdonald.
yeah.
Like that's a really good.
It's fucking absurd.
I don't think I ever watched
I've
that.
actually seen this movie.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's not great.
This guy's seen Benchwarmers, hasn't seen Die Hard yet.
No, fuck Bruce Willis. I like talent like David Spade. Joe Dirt would beat the shit out of whoever the fuck Bruce Willis's beta character is in Die Hard.
I would like you to commit to the day Bruce Willis dies to finally watching Die Hard as a tribute to his great legacy.
The original or all of them?
The original. I'd like you to commit to that today, please. Right now, on the spot.
The day he dies? Or can I have like 1 week
have one
to watch
day.
it? 1 week. Give me 1 week.
1 week.
1 week and I'll sign right now.
His mourning week. The week everyone mourns for Bruce Willis. You have to watch Die Hard.
I accept those terms.
Excellent. Glad we could finally work on an agreement.
I'll do that.
And Hudson Hawk, too.
What is that a movie?
Remember Hudson Hawk?
Is that a movie? No, I do. Of course I don't.
It's ridiculous. It was good, though.
Bruce Willis was in Expendables. Was he in the first two? And then
Two
Mel...
or three. He wanted more money, and they're like, go
Sylvester
fuck yourself.
Stallone very cryptically put out that like he was the worst actor he's ever worked with. And they replaced him with Harrison Ford in the third one. But like... I found that very odd that like all those big name like alpha dudes in those movies, and it was Bruce Willis that Sly was like, he's the fucking worst. Which you always hear like Bruce is like, give me $1 million a day, I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, they didn't get along.
I just read that not too long ago. Actually, it's odd you bring that up because they said they offered him $3 million for that movie and he wanted $4 million, and they told him to go fuck himself and called Harrison Ford the next day.
I don't understand. Which, if he would have been making $3 million a day, or $3 million for the movie, he's probably making the same as the top-notch guys in that movie, right?
Gotta be.
Like, I don't remember the third who was the villain, but like they've had Mel Gibson, they had Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone himself, Jason Statham, who might have been the biggest name at the time.
Sure.
Terry Crews, Dolph Lundgren, Jet Li. There's a lot of big names. And then they always bring in, like, they brought in Antonio Banderas. They brought in Ronda Rousey. You know, they brought in all these names.
Last one was good. It was ridiculous, but it was fun.
I don't think I actually watched the fourth one. They all were just like, you know, goofy,
absurd,
high intensity, low IQ movies. Yeah. But I did enjoy all of them, or the ones that I've seen. But I just thought it was odd that he got such a bad rap for that.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. Maybe just him and Sly just had a personality difference.
Sure. Well, we went way out on a limb there, but I secured a commitment for you, Bruce, and you will finally get the respect you deserve at the Namapod household.
Look, it will never be as good as Lethal Weapon, but I will watch Die Hard. It's also interesting that Lethal Weapon, I think the original, maybe it's the second, takes place right at Christmas time too. But you never hear a debate about whether or not that's a Christmas movie.
I don't remember that.
But you hear that about Die Hard, right?
True.
Okay.
Very
when
true.
I watch it, I will give my opinion as to whether or not it's a Christmas movie.
Please do.
Yeah. Okay.
So Sergeant Frank Salerno remembered that Kimberly Martin, a sex worker killed in December of 1977, had been sent to an apartment on Tamarind. Kenneth's Tamarind address was only a block off Sunset near that scene. Frank also recalled that Christina Weckler had lived in an apartment complex where Kenneth once lived in Glendale, and another victim had lived across the street from one of his old addresses.
He stuffed himself into a box by hunting at home.
Yeah. We also needed to say that Kenneth's name popped up multiple times in this whole thing. Remember last week we talked about how the investigation was really sloppy, and a lot of it was just like the management of all the tip information and stuff. But his name did come up multiple times. One of the big issues was that his last name was spelled wrong throughout the tips and the information. So that's one thing.
So it sounded like different people.
Right. And it was a very early computer system was part of this mess too. So his name was spelled wrong. But at one point, he did agree to take a polygraph test regarding this.
Is your name Kenneth Bianchi?
No one followed up with him. Within 24 hours, Los Angeles sent Frank Salerno and his partner, Dudley Varney, to Bellingham to compare notes and, if possible, question Kenneth. Meanwhile, Bellingham detectives searched his house. They collected the clothes he wore that night and grabbed stolen items that were lying around. Kenneth had a habit of taking valuables from places that he guarded. Remember last week we talked about how he would like give it all to his girlfriends and shit.
Yeah.
But amongst all of this stuff, the stolen stuff that they found, there was a large turquoise ring and a gold necklace with a ram's horn pendant matching, very distinctive pieces reported on two of the LA victims. Like the ram's horn thing is extremely specific. Fibers on Karen and Diane's clothing matched the carpet at the Bayside Road house, and hairs matching Diane were found in the basement, proof that they had been there. A pubic hair on Diane's body later matched Kenneth by DNA, and Diane's blood was later found on his underwear.
Can't beat science, pal.
No. And this moved fast. Remember, he did this, on the 11th, he concocted this plan, right? And by the 15th, he's in front of a judge.
They had him.
Yeah.
Dead to rights, sir. Dummy.
He went before a judge on the initial charge of possession of stolen property tied to the items found at his house. Not murder. This was just a way to hold him while they're, getting all that stuff in order. On January 26, 1979, after the FBI got the forensic results, prosecutors charged him with 2 counts of first-degree murder and dropped the stolen property charge. And on January 29th, he was arraigned and pled not guilty. And at that hearing, they also assigned him a public defender. At first, it looked like Kenneth would fight the Washington case and say he was innocent. On March 30th, 1979, his lawyer switched his plea to not guilty by reason of insanity. Kenneth said he didn't remember killing Karen and Diane and said that if he did do it, he wasn't in his right mind.
I was out of my mind, Judge. I'm not responsible.
John Travolta with us tonight.
That's the art of my cock voice, right?
It's the Welcome Back Cotter.
Welcome back on.
I like
Up your nose with a rubber hose.
3 psychiatrists hired by the defense examined him and said he had severe multiple personality disorder, now called dissociative identity disorder. The judge set up a, quote, blue ribbon panel of 6 mental health experts, 2 picked by the defense, 2 by the prosecution, 2 neutral, to decide if Kenneth was competent and if this disorder was real. They also ordered some scans of his brain. Over the next several weeks, under hypnosis, Kenneth presented an alter ego named Steve Walker.
Steve Walker, Texas Ranger.
This is just so stupid.
This whole thing is just...
I don't even think...
Stevie, tell him it was you. It was you. It wasn't me. I didn't kill nobody.
I almost wonder if he somehow faked being under hypnosis, like it never even worked, because... We'll see in a minute.
You can, sure.
I mean, it doesn't, but.
So under hypnosis, he's this alter ego named Steve Walker who confessed to the murders in a different voice and gave details, like real details.
Yeah, that's weird. Hello, I've taken over for Kenneth. This is Steve talking now, and I did all the murders. Me and Angelo, we killed a bunch of people. Kenneth didn't have nothing to do with it.
Did I do that? This is Steve Urkel vibes. Oh, that's good.
I strangulated him with the ligature.
So Kenneth talking as Steve, aside from like giving the details of the murders of Karen and Diane, he started confessing to the Hillside Strangler murders out in LA and specifically named Angelo as his partner.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Well, all right.
I meant to do that.
He's like, if I'm going down, you're all coming with me.
That's it. Should have kept an eye on him, Angelo. Shouldn't have let him go up there by himself.
It's kind of a Menendez brother mistake, right?
Yeah. Gotta lock that shit down. Loose ends.
Of the 6 psychiatrists, 2 thought Kenneth had multiple personalities.
Let me guess, the defense psychiatrist?
Right. 2 thought he was for sure lying, and 2 were on the fence. Frank Salerno checked around and found that Steve Walker was a real person. And this is why I'm saying I think he faked the hypnosis thing, because he clearly is, consciously knows what he's doing here. Steve Walker's a real person. He was a young psychologist in LA whose identity Kenneth stole. In Los Angeles, Kenneth placed an ad pretending to start a therapy practice and asked for help. We kind of talked about it last week. I know I brought up like him lying and saying that he had cancer and shit, but he was always lying about everything, like scheming and scamming. You know what I mean? So
you're kayfabe.
Yeah.
You got to work the crowd.
Yeah. Well, he worked Steve Walker. So Steve answered this ad, and Kenneth got him to send his transcripts and credentials, then used them to forge fake diplomas. So Steve Walker didn't come from Kenneth's subconscious. It was a real guy that he conned. Once that came out, obviously this multiple personality claim has no credibility. One expert said, quote, "We're looking at this going, good God, hopefully nobody's believing this crap."
I'm going to leave now.
That's a really interesting disorder too, because there's a lot of people that like credible psychiatrists, and whatever, that say that doesn't exist. That's not a real disorder.
All made up across the board.
The multiple
completely.
personality thing, that's just not possible.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, talk to Mike Namapod when he's sober and when he's on tequila. Well, you tell me that multiple personalities don't exist.
You make a good point, sir.
Let's fucking go, doctors.
If you're even a doctor.
Yeah. Just saying. Throw in Jaeger and you get a third personality.
With the death penalty on the table in Washington, there's like a little, or at least at the time, there was a kind of a stipulation or whatever that 2 murders qualified under state law. Couldn't for one, but if you're a double murderer, you're done for. But now he's tied to everything with the Hillside Strangler murders in California. Kenneth decided to cut a deal. On April 23rd, 1979, Los Angeles Police Chief Daryl Gates said at a press conference that they had enough evidence to charge Kenneth. Then on May 9th, Los Angeles County filed 5 murder counts to get the case moving, the 5 with the strongest evidence, enough by themselves to put him on death row. Under pressure from both states, they figured out a plea deal. If Kenneth pled guilty to the 2 Bellingham murders and 5 Los Angeles, so that's 7 total, he'd avoid the death penalty and get multiple life sentences. He also had to testify truthfully and completely against his cousin Angelo, who was still free, hanging out in California. Kenneth agreed to that, obviously.
He was upholstering. He's busy.
On October 22nd, 1979, Los Angeles authorities arrested Angelo at his upholstery shop in Glendale and took him in without incident. For whatever reason, he was allowed to talk to the media pretty soon afterwards.
Pipe bomb.
He had some stuff to say. He said, quote,
"Oh, I haven't did nothing. They won't find nothing because I ain't did nothing."
He also said that the police and the press had ruined his business.
"The phone don't ring anymore. As a businessman, I'm dead. Dead."
He also said that he barely knew his cousin, Kenneth, and only let him crash there briefly as a family favor. Remember last week we said it was his aunt. Like he was like, I didn't fucking like him. It was just because of the aunt.
"We didn't have nothing in common. Now I wouldn't do no more favors for anybody, even the Pope."
You can't just make up lies about people.
Thanks, Pee-wee.
So Angelo was charged in Los Angeles County Superior Court with 10 counts of murder plus counts of sodomy, rape, conspiracy, pimping, and pandering. At first, the LA District Attorney's Office, led by John Van de Kamp, thought they needed Kenneth's cooperation to win a conviction. They had some physical and circumstantial ties to Angelo, fibers from his shop on 2 victims, and Catherine Laurie's testimony about fake cops. Remember that was the one last week where her father is an actor.
Peter Lorre, yeah.
Yeah. So they saw the picture of them together, like, maybe not. So they have her testimony about the fake cop thing, but no direct proof like fingerprints or DNA putting him at the murders. Kenneth, at this point, he is the key to this whole thing, at least in the district attorney's office.
Yeah,
man.
sure. You know that DA John Vandekamp is the heir to the Vandekamp fish sticks fortune.
I'm not sure. Like, are Vandekamp fish sticks a thing? I don't know that.
Isn't that one of those fish stick things? Vandecamps?
I don't know.
Vandecamps?
As much as I love to dive into frozen food and junk food, I'm not a regular eater of fish sticks.
I'm not either, but I think it's like the Gorton Fisherman and then Vandecamps.
Don't get me wrong, fish sticks are delicious.
That's what I'm saying.
With like there's just the store-bought squeezed tartar sauce.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, man.
I do buy fancy tartar sauce.
Oh, I'll when I'm buying fish sticks, I would get the cheap shit.
Yeah.
And it's still like the Kraft like tartar sauce.
Oh no, sir.
But if you crisp those fish sticks up just right, get a little bite to them, a little crisp, they're perfect. Perfect, I tell you.
Love fish sticks.
Yeah, I do too. It's also probably why I like filet-o fishes.
High-end man.
Yeah.
Next, Kenneth pled guilty in California as his deal required. On October 22nd, the same day Angelo was arrested, Kenneth was flown to LA under heavy guard. He stood before a judge and pled guilty to 5 Hillside Strangler murders, plus 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder and 1 count of sodomy.
Yeah, that looks fucking delicious. Dave's holding up Vandekamp fish sticks now. And now I want Vandekamp fish sticks.
I recognize the box.
See?
Those look fucking awesome.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
So this dude's making all the money off that he's the family?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, when he first said it, I was like, I think this is a joke, but I also don't know the original brand, so I'm not sure where we're going here. Oh, you're confusing me.
So the judge sentenced Kenneth on the spot. He got 5 life terms for the murders, a concurrent life term for conspiracy, and some extra years for sodomy, all running at the same time. California law then required concurrent sentences. The judge said he wished he could stack them.
Yeah, you got to stack those like pancakes, Judge. Come on. Concurrent my ass, pal.
He got 5 life sentences.
Is that enough?
He's going to die there. I mean, I get it. You want him to get hit with everything, but
2,000 years.
Under that law, he was parole eligible on the California counts in 7 years, but he still had to serve his 2 Washington life sentences first. Washington later set his minimum at about 116 years.
okay.
California also filed a detainer, so if he ever got out in Washington, he'd be handed over to serve more time there. The plea that he worked out kept him alive and kept him in Washington.
Good thing. He probably doesn't want to run into Angelo in Folsom or something, right?
Right.
I really like to imagine Kenneth under hypnosis ratting out Angelo for all this stuff. Like, it's really funny in my head.
Yeah. Oh, this is Steve Walker. I think Angelo helped me do it. Yeah, that's who did it, I think.
Like, what's the psychiatrist doing sitting there? You know what I mean? Like, they know he's full of shit.
Okay, Steve. Thank you for the information.
Angelo's preliminary hearing in Los Angeles lasted 10 months, the longest in the city's history at that time. Kenneth took the stand and contradicted himself about Angelo's role. 1 minute, he said they took turns strangling victims. The next, he said that he wasn't there or that he only watched. He changed details and forgot key facts. Prosecutors and detectives were fucking super pissed. One assistant DA called it, quote, self-immolation of his own credibility.
Yeah, because this guy was so credible to begin with. The fuck out of here.
Lead prosecutor Roger Kelly publicly doubted him, calling Kenneth a liar and said, quote, quote, the case is in trouble.
Should the lead prosecutor in your case be publicly calling your main witness a liar?
Probably not.
That probably doesn't play well.
In July 1981, John Van de Kamp's office said that they would drop all murder charges against Angelo, saying Kenneth's testimony was too tainted to use it, and without it, they couldn't convict. So they floated lesser charges like the pimping.
Okay, fish boy. You gonna let this guy back out?
Fucking fish boy.
Fish boy. Fucking kidding me? The fuck is wrong with you? We should do a whole show just in Italian voices one day. That'd be fun.
Mine gets so aggressive it hurts my throat.
It does
Like
get
I've
very
only done
aggressive.
like 10 sentences tonight, and it's already sore. You can only do so many ohs.
That's like filler words. Like we say and you go, oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
As you could imagine, like the families and all the law enforcement that worked on this case were fucking furious. Like,
Yeah.
what is, like, you can't just let this guy go on.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Fuck.
On August 18th, 1981, Judge Ronald M. George refused to let Angelo walk. He read a 36-page ruling in court that blasted the DA's office for giving up. He said that even though Kenneth's accounts were a, quote, morass of contradictions, other evidence tied Angelo to the crimes. Catherine's account of fake two cops we talked about, fibers that matched Angelo's upholstery shop, and the neighbor that saw two men take Lauren Wagner. Remember, that was the worst neighbor ever.
Yeah, the one that couldn't call the police.
Yeah.
Very helpful. Thanks.
Judge Ronald said, quote, 10 bodies don't just get swept under the carpet.
Fucking A, Judge Ronald.
He told the LA district attorney to prosecute Angelo or he'd send the case to the California attorney general. John Van de Kamp stepped aside and the case went to the attorney general, who assigned deputies Michael Nash and Roger Boren. They got ready to trial and they were very confident they could win, even with Kenneth's nonsense that he was pulling.
I guess you could say DA John Van de Kamp floundered in his attempt to convict Angelo.
You know, I don't mind some flounder. I think flounder's a little underrated.
I like some flounder, sure.
It doesn't get as fancified as the rest.
You don't hear about flounder too often.
No, but it's just a good basic fish.
Good basic fish.
No.
It's a good way to put it.
You throw on some tartar sauce or some oil or whatever. That's all you need. Yeah, it's a fancier fillet of fish, kinda. I think.
I'll take that explanation.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I can't remember.
Last time you had a flounder?
Yeah,
I think the
what
last
it
time I
tastes
had
like or
flounder
anything.
was at like a Red Lobster type thing, but it wasn't bad. Like it was fine.
I've not been eating a lot of fish lately.
Just sushi, right? That's what you go
I
for.
haven't had sushi in a while.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't had sushi in a long time
Long
either.
time.
I was
why
going
don't you
like
guys
every day, and then I just kind of burnt myself out.
starve yourselves till February. Daytona 500s around the corner.
that's the day.
With some sushi platters.
Caviar this year?
I don't know. I haven't talked to Jess Brew Christie yet. We'll
Okay.
see. She was supposed to get us the New York some last time, but things got mixed up and
Yeah.
she got us other stuff, which was still delicious. It was quite tasty.
I had some prime
We'll
ribs Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's good.
You guys are big prime rib fans, right?
I like prime rib.
It's my favorite.
I like it. It's not my favorite, but I do like it.
I'll take
eat-
that over steak any day.
I would prefer steak, but I would eat a prime. If you're giving me a prime rib, I'm going to be happy as a happy little camper.
I'll take a ribeye steak over all that.
Yeah, that's ribeye, same. But yes, where'd you get the prime rib from? Homemade or you went out?
We went to the Rosewood Grill in your hometown of Strongsville, Ohio.
Oh, I've been there. That's a good place.
First time there. It was great.
It's good. Yeah, it's a
Big
good place.
fan.
Yep. Right off the highway.
Yeah. Big fan.
That's a good little place. I can't remember what I had there last time. I was with a big party. And so it was almost like we had like a special room reserved.
Yeah.
And it was like a 3 menu type option. I had some kind of steak, I think. But always good food there, I think.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I will be going back.
And not like a super fancy, expensive
it's
place.
fine.
But yeah. Maybe our next Cool Down Media lunch. Let's class it up a bit.
I would enjoy that.
If they open early enough, let's go there for a lunch.
All right.
Always down for that.
Yeah. And if they're busy, we'll just go to the mall and we're with Annie Ann's pretzel dogs. Walk around the mall. We'll go on Hot Topic and stuff and just walk around.
Sarku, Japanese double chicken teriyaki.
They can't even close the fucking thing. Let's
go.
You know, you can get an orange Julius with it.
Oh, I used to love the orange Julius. I did go to I was at the mall. I went to the new Dick's Sports, House of Sports called. They essentially doubled the size of Dick's Sporting Goods out there.
At the Strongsville one?
Yeah,
I know they were
cool.
redoing the Dick's. What is it called? House of Sport?
House of Sport. They have an outdoor like sport area and stuff.
Oh, I haven't been there for that.
2 floors. That's really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They got the Brew Garden right over there too.
I've been there.
Which isn't
That's
bad.
a big place too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll go to Rosewood Grill soon.
Prime rib.
All right.
I'm buying.
All right. Even better.
With the company card.
Even better. With the company card. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. October 10th is World Mental Health Day, and this year, BetterHelp is shining the spotlight on therapists, the people who truly make the world a better place. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or even a small win, can change lives. BetterHelp therapists have helped over 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. That's millions of stories, millions of struggles. And behind every one is a therapist who showed up, listened, and helped someone take a step forward. BetterHelp has been helping people find their match for over 12 years and has a 4.9 out of 5 rating with 1.7 million client session reviews. If you're looking for quality, BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform. After filling out a brief questionnaire, you'll be matched with a therapist that is tailored to fulfill your needs. And it's convenient, too. You can join with a therapist at the click of a button, helping fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, switch therapists at any time with no extra cost. BetterHelp sessions are done completely online, and you can pause your subscription whenever you need to. So this World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can help you start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/necro. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/necro.
In November 1981, Angelo's murder trial started in Los Angeles. Jury selection started on November 16th, and it took 3 months because of how popular the Hillside Strangler case was. The trial became the longest criminal trial in U.S. history at the time. The prosecution called 392 witnesses and put in 1,800 exhibits. They walked through each of the 10 murders, tying them to Angelo, showing him as the dominant partner with a history of violence, hatred of women, and Kenneth is like his stupid, willing sidekick.
Yeah. If you're just a regular average Joe when you get called for this jury, it's a total interruption of your life. Like, especially if you have a job that's not going to pay you.
Yeah.
How long was this? This was the longest trial in history. Months and months and months and months.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine listening to 392 witnesses describe?
No, that's so much.
Your fucking head's spinning every day.
It's also almost a little. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Kenneth alone was 80 days.
Yeah, that's
like 80 days of just listening to Kenneth's
you imagine?
stupidity. Yeah.
It's almost a little unfair to the jurors.
it absolutely
Because, like, how are you really taking all of that in? Like, that's a lot of people. You're not remembering that. I know you can take notes, but, like, that's...
What does it do
At some point, you're just burnt out.
What does it do to your psyche to hear about, 10 young girls and the details of their fucking horrific murders listened to day after day after day, and crime scene photos and all that? That's a lot for a person to take. You're an average person to take.
Like, those sodomy charges are coming from 13, 14, 15-year-old girls. Like, this is brutal stuff.
Sure.
Like, we didn't really get into, like, those specifics, but you know what I mean?
Good.
Right. But, like, yeah, these are really fucking terrible crimes these two committed. So, yeah,
I can't even imagine sitting there all day like that for month after month after month. My God.
Because you're looking at all the crime scene photos and all that stuff.
What do you do? Like, you go home at the end of the day? And
Well, you don't go home. You go to your hotel where you're sequestered.
They're not always sequestered, though.
Well, in my courtroom, they would be.
That would make it even worse.
No, I know.
But even
I'm
if you're
kidding.
not sequestered, you just go home and,
hug your kids, kiss your wife, and sit down to a dinner, and then just go to bed.
And all right, I'm gonna go listen to some more torture testimony tomorrow.
No,
that's a lot to put on people.
Nope. I love the idea of serving on a jury, but then like when push comes to shove and it's like the reality of it, I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that.
No, it's a lot. It's a big commitment.
Like at least here when we talk about all this horror, like at least I can drink a beer, and I'm hanging out with my friends about it. I can't sit there and actually hear this shit and know that something's on the line. Like that's a lot more real than all this.
It's a lot of pressure.
There's a pretty lengthy write-up I just found because I was trying to find if they sequestered the jury.
No.
And this is a big write-up from one of the jurors who spent a record 2 years listening to the evidence in the trial.
God.
Not this one, another trial.
Angelo.
Oh, and Angelo's trial.
2 years.
Like I said, 80 days on Kenneth alone.
Yeah.
That it's too much to put on somebody. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for what else you could do, but that is a lot to put on.
Yeah, you can't switch them out halfway through.
Mm-mm.
They weren't sequestered though for the trial, but they were sequestered for the deliberation.
Okay, and that makes sense. They do that a lot more often.
But here's the fucking deliberation, 50,000 pages of testimony. What are you doing with that?
Yeah.
It's just not even possible. I don't know.
Like you're spending the first 2 weeks of the deliberation just in your room reading those 50,000 pages of testimony, right? And you're not even doing that.
No, if it was me, if I'm the juror and I'm like, okay, there was somehow a fiber from his fucking upholstery thing got on this girl.
Yeah.
He's guilty. I don't need to read all this.
Right.
That's a burden that I don't want.
I agree. Yeah. I got called for jury duty a couple months ago, and I gave a response to the prosecutor that I knew would have him remove me from the jury pool.
Like the prosecutor contacted you directly?
No. I say when they question, you get called up and they question. You go in the jury.
Oh, when you
box.
were in there,
when
I see.
They ask you questions and whatnot.
Oh, you got to the point of sitting there.
Yeah,
I've never gotten to that point.
Yeah.
And so the only time I've ever been actually called was when I was living in Cuyahoga County. And I was called down to Cleveland for that. And on my third day, I was one of the jurors. They bring in hundreds of people. And my third day, I was called in as one of the potentially selected jurors. And there was maybe, 40 of us. And then just before we were going to go in for questioning, they're like, oh, we settled, go.
Yeah.
And then when I got back to the main room, they're like, you guys are dismissed for the week. And that was it.
Yeah.
Every other time I've been called for any jury duty, I was, they canceled it before I even went in. So I've never had to go back.
Yeah.
And that was the only time I ever went in was 2008. Summer of 08.
A long time ago.
Yeah. No, but I was in Cuyahoga. I'm not there anymore, so I'm not going to get called there.
Yeah.
But
I went last summer.
Yeah, I haven't been called since. I'm a registered voter.
Yeah.
I'm registered for the draft. All the checks and balances are there. They ain't going to want to draft my ass. It's like, oh, you serving Taco Bell when we get enlisted to go invade Puerto Rico?
What did you tell them?
It was a felonious assault charge for these brothers. Something seemed, I don't know. These guys eventually got acquitted because I followed up on the case. Something seemed like there was, not much there.
Yeah.
But they asked if anyone in your family, I forget how, anyone in your family's ever been charged with something. And I had a family member who had been charged with felonious assault in the past. And they said, do you feel something? I said, No, they overcharge you to try to get you to plea deal, as prosecutors are known to do. And I looked the prosecutor right in the eyes when I said it. I said,
get this guy the fuck out of here.
Strike me the next one, which is not wrong. They love to fucking overcharge, so you plea down.
But from a prosecutor's standpoint, that's very smart, right? They overcharge, almost like when you're negotiating. You ask for more to get what you want.
That's exactly what they do.
And that's exactly what they do. I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's smart by them.
Sure, but that's not why they're in office, though.
Well, it's how they keep office.
Immoral.
It's how they keep office.
So yeah,
They're going to get those convictions no matter what at some point or another. I'm not saying it's right.
No, I understand.
I'm saying that's what they do.
So-
Charge high, get them low.
That's exactly what I told him, and he said, "Judge, we'd like to strike Dave Naumapod from the jury pool. Thank you for your service today."
And he was drunk by 1 o'clock that day. Went straight to the bar, had a couple cocktails, drunk by 1 o'clock.
So
it's a day's work.
fuck you, though. You lost the case. They acquitted this guy, which good.
All right.
That's all I got to say on that.
Yeah, I've never got to the point of being questioned or asked.
So about halfway through the trial, that's when Kenneth came up. He was the 200th witness. Like we said, he testified for 80 days, which took several months to get through. He was very reluctant, avoided looking at Angelo. He wouldn't look at Angelo. He answered in a very soft, evasive tone. He contradicted himself one day, recalling details, the next saying he had no memory. At one point, he said that he had never killed anyone in Los Angeles or in Bellingham, trying to recant everything.
I don't recall ever doing anything like that. No, I never killed nobody. Just ignorant.
So like,
I was going to say that was borderline. I didn't know which way that was going.
It's all Angelo.
we talked about how like under hypnosis, sometimes like when he was trying to like do some of the confessions, like he would fake shit, but then he would throw in real details too, like thinking he's slick. He did this on the stand as well, and he really fucked up at one point. He gave a detail that only the killer would know. In the murder of Christina Weckler, he said that they tried to poison her by injecting cleaning fluid, specifically Windex, into her arm with a hypodermic needle. Remember, we said last week detectives had kept that out of the press. They knew that that was going to be a really, really specific detail.
Yeah.
And the jury and everybody just heard him admit that he had firsthand knowledge of what was done to her. And he wasn't even prompted. He was just running his mouth.
Yeah, right. Oh, did I say Windex? I didn't mean that.
There's some other accounts that list Christina's death as death by asphyxiation by gas, with the injection as part of torture, quote, experiments that these two used to do. So get into some of that these experiments that they did. Another method that they experimented with was electrocution on a small scale. This shows up in the case of Lauren Wagner. Her autopsy found burn marks on her palms. These burns didn't happen after she died. It happened when she was alive. LAPD forensic investigator Michelle Kessler testified that the burns were likely from electrical wires or an appliance cord, meaning she was shocked as a form of torture. Detectives noted arc-shaped burns on the insides of her hands, like a live cord had been pressed into her palms. That lined up with Kenneth's later statements that they tried to kill with electric shock. They basically tried to come up with a makeshift electric chair. Beyond chemicals like Windex and electricity, Kenneth said he and Angelo also tried carbon monoxide. In one case from Kenneth's confessions, they tried to poison a victim with car exhaust, like a makeshift gas chamber. The victim wasn't named in the reports that I read. Kenneth said that they had trapped her in a closed space with a running car to see if carbon monoxide would kill her. When it didn't fast enough, they went back to strangling. There's evidence that they did a lot of controlled asphyxiation, so they would choke someone out just like right to the point and then bring them back over and over again. In at least one case, ligature marks and hemorrhages in the eyes showed multiple intervals of strangulation, not one continuous act. In court, Kenneth said Angelo was curious about, quote, how long you could knock someone out without killing them.
You know, sometimes I sit here and I question the morality of my stance on the death penalty and whatnot.
Well, I question it every time we talk about it, Dave.
And then I hear about cases like this, and it just confirms that I'm right. And people like this should just be wiped off the fucking planet. Like this, people like this don't deserve to be on the planet.
There's
period.
There's a big part of like going through that book by Darcy O'Brien, and like the whole second half is trial stuff, because this is a really big, long trial. You listen to it, and you're like what we're just talking about here. You're talking about doing that to an 18-year-old girl, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, why are we wasting our time with all this?
No.
All this money and wait, like we already know what happened
With what,
here.
a trial? Well,
Yeah.
they still have to give him a trial.
You have to, but I'm just saying
We're not
in
saying they shouldn't be
theory-
tried.
in theory, if the world was perfect, I'd be fine with just getting them out of here. We don't need to do this.
Immediately. There's overwhelming evidence.
You could
in
find
this
them
case.
guilty and then be done with it immediately.
I will never agree on the death penalty thing with you guys. With cases like this, sure, it's easy for us to go, why are we going through the motions? We know what happened. But then imagine the door that opens. If now you can give a judge a power to just say, we know what happened, you're guilty.
Well, and that's
Like, you
why
can't
I'm
do
not
that.
pro death penalty. Exactly.
No, I'm not
right.
even saying death penalty. I was just saying, and I know we're just talking about like, should there be no trial? Like there should always be a trial
of course.
to go through it.
But yeah, because of how that standard is applied across the board is why I can't be supportive in practicality of the death penalty, even though I am 100% in favor of people like this being just wiped off the planet.
And I am not 100% in favor of it. But if you were to put us in a perfect world, I would be more open to it. Not saying I'd be for it. I'd be more open to it. Yes.
And even, I want to phrase this, like there's a lot of cases with people when they question their mental abilities and limited IQs and executing them and stuff. I don't think I care. Like if that's me, if someone with limited mental capacities, you know, electrocuting an 18-year-old girl, I don't really care if they're limited mental capacity. I'm still in favor of getting rid of them.
The problem with that one is that usually in those situations, the system has failed them in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And that's where you get into the morality of it, of like, you know, we failed that person or the system did at some point.
Yeah. And I know it's a morally
And it's-
ambiguous position, but I don't think I care that the system failed them.
Yeah.
I'm
I
in
very
favor
much
of
do.
getting rid of them.
I very much do care about that.
There was a lady today who was sentenced in life in prison in Cleveland because she was allegedly mentally ill, and they sent her for treatment, whatever. They ultimately found her competent to stand trial, and they convicted her, and she got life in prison. But she was in a Giant Eagle store and picked up a butcher knife and followed the mom and a 3-year-old out to the parking lot and stabbed both of them and killed the 3-year-old. Like, I don't care
the
that
story.
she's mentally unstable.
Well, you said she was found.
She was found
Competent.
she's clearly mentally ill on some level, but if that's me, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm in favor of executing you. I don't care what the extenuating circumstances are with you. I know that's a morally ambiguous position to take, and it may be on the wrong side of. I don't care though.
This country is overwhelmingly in favor of capital punishment. I'm in the minority on it, but
You're
it's
right.
I
I acknowledge there may be some that might be a problematic stance to take, but that's my stance though.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty open to it. I'm open to it for rape. So, like,
You're more open than I am. I still stand by that 100 guilty people should go free. Then one innocent person is, executed or in prison, whatever. But when there's overwhelming evidence,
yeah, because when I say that I'm for the death penalty for rape, that's when I'm like, talking hypothetical. Like that's emotion talking. That's
Sure,
not
of course.
reason, because how many rapists have been falsely accused and go to sit in
Absolutely.
jail for a long
Absolutely,
time.
sure.
So yeah, you can't do that. That's just emotions talking.
Yeah. We're just talking shit out here. We ain't solving any world problems.
I'm
We're just talking shit out. Yeah. And for good reason.
not in charge.
For good reason. We are not in charge. We are not
exactly.
elected officials. Just having a conversation while sipping alcohols and doing some weeds.
Just telling you what goes through my head. Some of what goes through my head.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear the rest of it.
Oh, I very much restrain a lot of what goes in my head, but let's, we'll keep it PG-13 for all the kids out there listening. Do your homework, kids,
Study. Eat your green beans and your broccoli.
and read your Bukowski.
In late October 1983, after 2 years of this trial, the case went to the jury. They were sequestered and deliberated for 28 days.
Another month. Another month.
On November 18th, 1983, they came back. Angelo was found guilty of 9 counts of first-degree murder. They acquitted him in the Yolanda, Washington case, the weakest one. Beyond Kenneth's testimony, there wasn't any other evidence tying Angelo to that murder. For punishment, the options were death or life without parole. The jury chose life without the possibility of parole. I think
It's interesting.
I think if I was on this jury and I listened to this for 2 years and saw this, I feel like I would feel like I'm dying on this hill. He's going for death. I'm not budging.
You know what's interesting is if you said that, and I would also say the opposite if they asked me, I would say immediately, like, I am against the death penalty, period. We'd probably both be thrown off. Right?
Yeah, right.
You'd be thrown off by the defense. I'd be thrown off by the prosecution.
Yeah, you don't want to state that at the beginning. Of the
No,
trial.
you very much do if you want to go home.
If you want to go home.
If you want to be
sure.
drunk by noon.
Oh, I can tell you how to go home.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I think in our beliefs in general, we probably, if that were to come up,
Yeah.
they might just ship us out.
That's true. And when you have an absolute stance like that, well, and it has to be unanimous, so one person can force the life sentence, right? I'm fairly certain.
I don't know how that works. I've never gotten that far in the voting. I always get booted out.
Just like a conviction, I think the death penalty
It has
unanimous.
to be unanimous.
Yeah, I would be the guy that's not, and I'm
right.
sorry, I just wouldn't be.
We would pummel you in the jury room until you acquiesced.
That's the way it's done in America. At least, probably the Europeans. That's how they see it done.
He'd be like, life. I'd start smacking them.
In my
What?
mind,
What'd you
in
say?
my mind, it's 12 Angry Men, and I convince all of you otherwise.
Right. That's not how it's going to go, though.
No, 12 Angry Men is so not realistic. It's a beautiful movie for what it represents. That ain't fucking happening.
I've been
We
meaning to
are a
watch
very
that.
angry, vengeful country.
That's true.
If you're in the courtroom, you're probably guilty. So says America. That's part of my problem. That's part of my problem.
That's part of my problem, too. That's why, in practicality, I'm not pro-death penalty. I meant to watch that. We talked about this a couple months
You
ago.
have, but
I'm
you've
like,
seen it.
well, yeah, but it's been a long time, and I've been meaning to watch that after we talked about it, and I still haven't.
Have you seen it?
What is it?
The 12 Angry Men? The original.
The
'Cause they made a
original black
remake.
and white, the original
I haven't
black and
seen
white.
a remake, but I think there is one. The original. All right. I have to find where that is, but I might watch that too.
Like
Maybe we should all
Jack
watch it.
Lemmon. So was it in the 50s, Jack Lemmon?
I think so. Maybe. I'm bad at that.
There was some documentary I watched like a year or so ago, and there was one guy holding out on the jury because he wouldn't do the death penalty. And I remember
I
watching
admire
the
that guy.
documentary. I'm like, I would fucking kill that dude. If I was sitting in there like, dude, what are we doing?
and like he probably thought he was guilty, but he wouldn't
did.
say no. He wouldn't say yes because the death penalty. Yeah.
He had
admire that guy.
He had a reasoning for it that I'm not like, I wasn't saying he was wrong. Like I get what he was saying, but in my mind, I'm like, dude, we're wasting a lot of time here. What are we doing? Get this fucking dude out of here.
1957. Henry Fonda, Jack
Yes.
Klugman,
Henry Fonda. That's right.
Jack Warden, Ed Begley. Ed Begley, the original. Right?
It's
Beg-
really
Beg-
good
Begley
movie.
Sr., Lee Cobb. Yeah.
And it like all takes place in one room, right? Like
yeah.
they have a quick little courtroom, at the beginning and the end. The entire movie takes place in the deliberation room.
It's awesome.
Yeah. That one guy's trying to like rush out of there because he's got baseball tickets that night. And he's just like, yeah, guilty. Let's get out of here.
You know,
Henry Fonda's like, no, we're going to talk this out.
I got to watch that this weekend.
That's a damn good movie.
Send it to me so I remember to watch it. I'll watch it too.
That's got to be on something, right? Probably the Gimmick
Turner
Player, at
Classic
least.
Music.
Yeah, Turner Classic
Movies.
Movies. Not music. All right.
On January 9th, 1984, Judge Ronald George formally sentenced Angelo. He imposed 9 concurrent life sentences without parole, as the jury decided. Judge Ronald said, quote, "If there was ever a case where the death penalty was appropriate, it is this case." He added, quote, "I would not have the slightest reluctance to impose the death penalty in this case were it in my power to do so." See, he's feeling the way I would have been feeling.
Judge Ron. Fucking A.
He also reprimanded Kenneth for nearly derailing the trial, saying Kenneth hadn't testified truthfully and did everything he could to sabotage the case.
Should the judge be saying this while the jury is deliberating?
Well, it's sentencing, but yeah, aren't you saying
sentencing,
the,
but like
the verdict maybe? Are you calling in the calling
you
into
shouldn't
question
be
the verdict
saying
when you're
this.
saying a witness who you relied on to convict is not telling the truth?
That's why when I said he sounded like I would sound, because he's talking with emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you shouldn't be saying that if you're the judge.
Right.
Isn't that a basis for appeal right there? The judge, the trial judge just said the witness was lying. I mean,
Yeah, and said the jury got it wrong. Like, I would fucking kill you if I could. As a consequence, Judge Ronald ordered Kenneth's remaining California life sentences to be served in Washington State, which was already the plan, and made sure that if Washington ever considered releasing him, that California had a hold to keep him locked up. Judge Ronald said, quote, "It is my firm belief that Mr. Buono and Mr. Bianchi never see the outside of prison walls. They should never be paroled."
Now that I can get behind.
Judge
I'm fine
Ron.
with that.
All right.
100% fine with that. I think we're a little too loose on the parole in a lot of these cases. I think,
Yeah.
I think I would be more for less death penalty, more no possibility of parole.
If you want to lock people up for life and say no parole, I'm fine with that over death penalty. Really, like killing somebody is just like an emotional thing. You know what I mean? To get rid of them. Like if you said like both of these dudes done, never see the light of day. Okay.
Yeah.
But
I'm
that's
fine
the
with- I'm
problem is
completely fine with that.
people slip through the cracks, like fucking Arthur Shawcross.
Yeah.
All these people slip through the cracks. It's like, yeah, they should have been fucking killed then. Then we wouldn't have had this problem.
Did he get out?
Yeah. He killed those kids. And they let him out in like 10 years or something.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a stronger case than ever for why maybe people should be put down because of the flaws like that in the system.
There's always flaws, right? We're fucking people. There's always human error.
Oh, yeah.
So,
We're only human, Ian.
Well, we're not flawed, but everyone else kind of is.
yeah. No, we're good.
Yeah, we're pretty perfect. Kurt Hennig, perfect. Mr. Perfect.
Mother says that God made us in his image.
Normally when we do that for these type of shows, when we get into like the judge and the death sentence and like that whole death sentence or the death penalty debate, that's like the end of the show usually, right?
But we kind of blew our load early on that one.
Well,
Reminds me of me in elementary school on my 4th grade teacher's chest.
You had big volume in 4th grade?
No,
blowing big ropes then?
It was just, she was reviewing my book report with me, and all of a sudden I was just like, or like, whatever you do in 4th grade, I don't know.
Balls didn't drop yet, so.
That dick still work.
Yeah, well. You're like, I meant to do that.
Yeah. We're towing a line here. Maybe I shouldn't have went down that road.
we have to go on a bit of a side quest with Kenneth Bianchi's girlfriend, Veronica Compton. During Angelo's preliminary hearing in the fall of 1980, Veronica, age 24, who called herself a playwright, started writing Kenneth while she worked on a screenplay about a female serial killer. Kenneth saw an angle. They planned to make it look like the real Hillside Strangler was still active to help him.
Ah, smart. Even though Steve Walker already confessed, right?
In September 1980, Kenneth smuggled his own semen out of jail. He hid a condom with his semen in a book they gave Veronica so he could plan it after a staged strangling to mimic a Hillside Strangler rape.
You know what book it was?
No, I don't.
I don't either.
I thought you had a joke.
It was set up. Sometimes Dave asks questions and you're like, I don't know if this is a bit or if he's like legit asking.
Like Walt Whitman, Leaves of Grass or something.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be all right.
Poetic.
I'd read that.
Yeah.
There's also, so I saw conflicting reports. I saw ones that said it's Kenneth's semen. I also saw quotes of, quote, a vial of a man's semen. So I don't know if like he got somebody's semen.
Interesting.
Hopefully he got someone else's semen because he couldn't be that stupid, right? After sitting through all that forensic evidence, he's like, all right, I know what I'm going to do. It's going to be my semen.
I've been sitting here trying to think like, okay.
Like, okay to this plan.
I think it's more of an okay, like, do, bro. You do you.
So a new murder has your semen on it. You're in jail and you're like, oh, must be another person out there. It makes no sense. Yeah. But sure, go on.
Yeah. On September 18th, 1980, Veronica Compton flew from California to Bellingham, Washington, carrying the smuggled semen. The next night, September 19th, she went to the Coconut Grove Tavern to look for a victim. Using the alias Karen, Veronica struck up a conversation with Kim Breed, age 26, who worked for the Bellingham Parks and Recreation Department. They hung out for hours. Veronica tagged along on errands, like she went to the grocery store, stopped at Kim's place so she could check on her kids.
Did they ask to see the manager anywhere?
Fucking Karen.
Just so the alias worked.
Later on, they went back out to the bars to hang out, and with some of Kim's friends, they started doing some coke.
All right.
So they're having a good time.
That's what people do.
By late evening, Veronica had moved into the last step of their plan. She invited Kim to her room at the Shangri-La downtown motel for a final drink and said that she had some more coke back at the room. Kim had spent pretty much the whole fucking day with Veronica at this point, so in her mind, there's nothing to worry about.
They're pals now.
Yeah. Inside the motel room, things flipped super fast. Veronica tied Kim's hands and then attacked her. She looped a rope around Kim's neck and tried to strangle her, twice tightening until Kim was nearly out. Kim was bigger and stronger. She fought hard and slipped the bindings, got free. She ran for help and was able to call the police. So she runs one way to call the cops. Veronica ran the other way, and she just took off and left the white rope in the room and took off.
Smart.
She flew to San Francisco. When she landed, reports say that she caused a disturbance at the airport.
Even smarter.
So she was still committed to Kenneth. Like, she was really into Kenneth. She really loved him, and she was committed to this plan. Soon after, she mailed a Bellingham. Like, you would think, like, after it failed, like, you would think, like, all right, I fucked up. I'm just gonna let this thing go now. Like,
I'm gonna lie low, maybe
Chill
go
out
on
for a little bit.
vacation because
Something wrong here. Oh, goofy. It's been a while.
well, he's on sabbatical.
She mailed Bellingham officials a letter and an audio tape recorded by herself posing as the killer, claiming that Kenneth was innocent and that the recent strangling attack, not just the attack, was proof that the Hillside Strangler was still out there.
Hello, I'm the killer. I'm the Hillside Strangler. I'm still out here. Clearly it proves Kenneth is innocent. Let him out. I'm gonna fuck Mike Nalapod because I used to work at the bank. Mike, call me. It's Mrs. Hildebrand. I'm the vice president. I'm the Hillside Strangler, but I won't hurt you. I just want you in my pussy. I did all this for you.
On October 2nd, 1980, less than 2 weeks after the attack, Veronica Compton was arrested at her home in Carson, California. Bellingham detectives, with help from Los Angeles County deputies, took her in on a Whatcom County warrant for first-degree attempted murder. When they arrested her, police found that she was still carrying that semen on her.
Oh, boy.
Of course,
it's ridiculous.
The media hopped all over this. They started calling her the copycat strangler. They held her on $500,000 bail. So Veronica went to trial on March 9th, 1981. And because of the publicity around what she did, the court brought in a sequestered jury from another county. So a whole other group of people have to put through shit over this. Veronica took the stand and said that it wasn't a real murder attempt, that it was a, quote, performance. She told the jury that the attack was a, quote, charade to gain publicity for her screenplay, The Mutilated Cutter, and said that Kim Breed was in on it, agreeing to fake the life-threatening assault as part of the stunt. The jury didn't buy it. And, of course, Kim Breed's sitting there like, no, that was not a part of this. After hearing everything, they deliberated for 3 hours and found her guilty of attempted first-degree murder. They also made a special finding that she was armed with a deadly weapon, the ligature, which under Washington law added a mandatory extra minimum of 5 years.
Wow. No, I'm an artist. You got it all wrong. It's the mutilated cutter. Mutilate my pussy, Mike. It's Mrs. Hildebrand. Split me open, Mike.
I thought I had her blocked. I had blocked her for months.
Stretch my love tunnel, Mike.
Oh, it's stretched from what I've heard.
Drive a Mack truck through my love tunnel.
Oh, now I want a beef and cheddar from Arby's. God damn it.
Oh, the Arby's app. Arby's app's doing a BOGO today. Buy one, get one free.
Did you get it?
No.
You got fooled. It's not every day.
It was today, though.
But today was a day.
I did get fooled. That was a limited time offer when I got the app, and it was only for the month of September. So I was really talking up the Arby's app, and
it's not always
it's not every week like I thought.
Yeah,
it was today.
But today, well, by the time people hear this, it's not today.
No,
so.
but
you didn't get one?
No, I've been eating very poorly lately. I'm trying to turn that back around.
Join the club, pal. Except I'm not trying to turn it around. Just accepting what it is. I get one life, and I'm going to burn the candle at both ends.
All right. Fair enough, man.
In May 1981, Judge Byron Swedberg sentenced Veronica. He called it, quote, calculated viciousness, and gave her life in prison with the possibility of parole. Under Washington's indeterminate sentencing, then, life could mean about 13 and a half years if paroled early, but there was no guarantee. So she's 24 years old and just fucked up her life.
Mm.
There has to be some form of a mental illness there to some degree to do all this.
Yeah. Life could mean 13 years for Mike over here, too, if he keeps eating like that.
It's true.
He's an intervention.
Pal, I'd be lucky. I'd be lucky if I get 13 years. Give me all the buy one, get one Arby's, big back, beef and cheddars.
Veronica served time at the Washington Correction Center for Women in Gig Harbor. On July 26, 1988, 7 years into her term, she escaped, cutting through multiple perimeter fences with the help of another inmate. She stayed on the run for 9 days. There was a nationwide manhunt that followed, and she was caught in a suburb of Tucson, Arizona. She had gotten a hold of a gun while she was out there. So when she was arrested, she had a gun on her.
Oops.
The Washington Parole Board added 2 years to the minimum time she had to serve before she could be considered for parole. So back in custody, she tried to focus on art and writing, kind of be reformed, try to go through the process. In 1989, she married a guy named James Wallace, a 60-year-old retired professor who started writing to her after he gave a lecture at the prison. They were allowed conjugal visits, and in 1993, she gave birth to a daughter. That baby was conceived during one of those visits, born in a hospital, and then cared for by Wallace and Veronica's mother. So Wallace is, I don't know, man.
You know,
Like this is so fucking weird because this story just like it's not even a Hillside Stranglers story anymore. Like we're in this
Where
woman's
are we?
life.
What are we doing
branched
now?
off, and
What the fuck? Where are we? Like if you zoned out for 5 minutes, you don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
right.
I zoned out for 3 minutes, and I don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
This part of the story makes me think of the baby being born meme. Please be Norway. And the baby comes out and asks the doctor, "Sir, where am I?" He's like, "You're in a prison in California. Your mom tried to murder someone and wrote the mutilated cutter."
Yep, that's about right.
After more than 15 years, Veronica was granted parole in 1996, but within a couple of weeks, she violated the terms. I couldn't find the specifics on what she did to violate them, but then she was sent back in March. Years later, in 2003, after about 22 years in prison, she was released on parole for good. She wrote a book called Eating the Ashes about rehabilitation and like her growth. I don't think it did well.
You don't say. Her sequel, Still Eating the Ashes, was released 2 years later to critical acclaim, self-published on Amazon. Jeff Bezos Publishing.
She says that like Kenneth had a psychological thing over her.
How?
I don't know. We should do a bonus episode one day, like on the whole phenomena of people falling in love with serial killers and stuff.
I'm like, did we do Stockholm Syndrome? Have we done a show on that?
No,
That could be a good one too.
Yeah.
It's right up those same lines. Sure.
Patreon.com/Necronomipod coming soon. In 6 years.
At
some point.
As part of that story, we should do an experiment and see if Mike can convince Jodi Arias to marry him
No.
via mail.
First of all, no.
First class
You guys
mail.
are the only ones who have ever called her marriage material, so that's ridiculous. She's no thank you. Second, if you want to really experiment, just look at how Declan adores me. And after all the horrible treatment I have given him, that is Stockholm Syndrome to a T. Study that.
That's true.
One of you fucks married Jodi Arias. I ain't trying to dive into that.
I'll do it.
I don't. Ian's like,
I'll
I'll
take
do
one
it.
for the team.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, could we tag team Jodi Arias in prison, conjugal visit, and then she gets pregnant and we just take the baby and raise it as our own?
Can I record it? Patreon.com/Necronomipod? Sure. You guys Eiffel Tower and Jodi Arias and in on a conjugal visit.
The baby's like, "Please be Norway." Like,
You guys,
hello, sir.
you guys are both wearing Necronomipod shirts. So you're just inside of her.
Where am I? You're in a prison in Utah, and you're but one of your dads is a podcaster who tag team a convicted murderer in a conjugal visit in a Utah prison.
They're like, your mom is a killer who's locked up for life. Your dad is from Ohio. He's like, my dad is from Ohio, and he just breaks down crying.
Oh, and he's a podcaster.
No! It's like zooms out as him on his knees, like praying to God that he never has to meet his horrible Ohio dad. He's going to go see his mom every week, though.
That's one of my favorite memes. Please be Norway. Hello, sir. Where am I? You're in Arkansas. Your parents are middle school TikTok superstars.
So that's the end of Veronica. We don't know.
Well,
what
I hope
up
she's
to.
doing well out
Yeah.
there. That was not great.
That was a growing period. It was like a whoops.
Yeah,
right?
That was a thing.
Can't be doing that.
No. Over the years, Angelo and Kenneth adjusted to prison life. Angelo went to Folsom. In 1986, he married Christine Kazuka, a mother of 3 who worked at the state employment office. He had life without parole, so no conjugal visits. This was just like a symbolic thing.
Womp womp.
He never showed remorse and kept saying that he did nothing. He never admitted to any of this. On September 21st, 2002, Angelo died at 67 years old from a heart attack. A retired detective that worked on the case said, quote, "The world is a better place without him. He will not be missed."
God damn, that sounds like you guys. That's cold.
There's no chance that Kenneth just framed him and brought his cousin into all this, right? There was enough physical evidence to definitively say.
Yeah.
This one make sure that's clear, yeah.
Yeah, there's no way.
Good.
Kenneth was housed at the Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla because his first convictions were in Washington. In 1989, he got a letter from a 36-year-old woman in Louisiana named Shirley, who wrote Notorious Killers. She had already tried Ted Bundy before Kenneth didn't. Ted already had, remember, he was fucking that one lady.
Yeah.
All these guys are fucking people in prison.
I was gonna say, this must infuriate incels, right? Like, they can't get laid to save their ass, and all these fucking bozos in prison are banging and conjugal and getting married.
Should people on death row be given conjugal visits?
No.
Oh, fuck you. You ruined.
They don't get a last fuck?
No.
Even by your distorted views of death row? Like, even the ones that shouldn't be on death row, they don't deserve that last fuck?
No.
Okay. All right.
I don't even think they deserve a last meal.
Well, think about that the next time you watch Green Mile.
They don't need to be getting married or
Fuck
any of
'em.
that shit.
Hey, I'm not saying I believe in it. I'm just saying I was asking a question. You guys got very angry when I asked that question. You guys got real upset. I have thoughts on the last meal thing too, but we'll save that because we're doing that on Patreon coming up real soon.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/Necronomipod. Got a good bonus show coming up on last meals.
Good one. So they got married in a prison ceremony on September 21st, 1989. They met in person for the first time the day before the marriage, but they had been writing and talking on the phone forever. Kenneth asked for conjugal visits, but the prison denied him. They're like, dude, you're a fucking child sexual predator. Like, you don't get conjugal visits. Kenneth always kept looking for angles. He filed appeals to take back his guilty pleas, claimed misconduct. One said his confessions and pleas were coerced by, quote, hypnotic manipulation, which I guess, like, I could kind of see that being a thing. Like, you know, hypnosis is fucking questionable. So using that, like, he has an argument. He would have an argument if he was somebody else. I think. At California's mandatory parole hearings, which is just a formality due to an old sentencing law, like, Ed Kemper still gets parole hearings. He just doesn't show up to them, you know. Kenneth always said that he was innocent. At one hearing, he said that he had found God.
Oh, well, good for you.
Another, he was a victim of a big conspiracy. In 2025, at 74 years old, he went before the California Parole Board again and was denied. They pushed his next eligibility out 10 years. So that hearing also showed that he had changed his name in prison to Anthony D'Amato a couple years earlier, which doesn't seem like that should be allowed, but either way, Kenneth or Anthony D'Amato they're not going anywhere.
As long as he didn't change his name to Jimmy Igloo,
Yeah.
then we'd have a problem.
You better be careful, pal. They might be able to hear this in prison, and then what? You're fucked.
That's the Hillside Stranglers.
Man, couple of fucks, right?
That's a thing. That was a thing.
I think the one postscript to this is just how fucking dangerous the LA area is around this time with all these different serial killers. Like, there's tons of them operating out there, like that William Bonin, who's the freeway killer, and then Rodney Alcala, the dating show, dating game one. numerous others, and then Richard Ramirez, bookends this in a couple years and goes on his spree. But just the sheer number of serial killers operating at this time out there is crazy. What a dangerous place to be.
And if you expand it just like a little more and put Washington in there, you get like Ted Bundy, Gary Ridgway.
Yeah.
Just stay in the Midwest. It's all right.
Right? Something in the water out there? Mother says you should just stay in Wisconsin. It's got lots of good cheese and no crazy people. Those are not very nice people.
No.
I don't like them. And I think they stink.
I agree.
Like they're literally smelly?
Both.
Okay.
Inside and out.
Maybe so.
Well, something. Kind of gross. Torturing young women.
Not a good story.
Little kids, really. 12-year-old, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't love it.
I'm glad Angelo's dead. I hope Anthony D'Amato, whatever the fuck your name is now, jerk off. I hope you're dead soon, too.
It's 74. And
He's on his way out.
I doubt he makes it to his next parole hearing in 10 years.
No.
Well, he would say the same thing about Dave if he was locked up. So
Hey.
we'll see.
Hey.
We'll see.
Young man.
Well, Ian, any other final fun facts you found? Any other information we didn't get to that we should touch on?
No, nothing I can think of.
Okay. Dave, what do you got for us on the old Patreon?
Well, first up, I have a makeup to do here.
Uh-oh, you fucked someone's name up?
I did. Quite a few people, actually. So somebody's like,
Wow.
hey, you missed me. And they had a horrible name. So I'm like, well, I would have remembered reading this, and I don't remember it. So I went back and looked, and Patreon was screwing around with how they generate reports and the sorting method and whatnot. And so I found like 30 names that got missed at some point.
Oh,
I don't
my
know.
gosh.
I don't generally make mistakes like this, so I don't know if they sorted wrong. I don't know what the deal was, but like 30 people from like a month ago. So I apologize. I'm surprised none of you other people reached out, but
here's your make good. Dave's going to make it
here's
right,
your make
right
good.
now.
Blame it on
He's about to read 165 names.
blame it on the Patreon. Thank you to new patrons. Last name is Irish, but I only get an Irish banger once a week. Mike Whitfield, Clara, Liz Goss. God, I wish this microphone was a big fat penis. You and me both, sir.
Good grief.
Sean Sauer, Gabriel Hankey, Sean Hagen, Seth Bagwell, Carl Hungus. Let the Right One In is a terrible movie. This is the individual that reached out about his missing shout out. And sir, ridiculous.
Yeah. What was it? They say it's the worst movie?
A terrible movie.
Oh, a terrible
One of the best, if not the best vampire movie that I've ever seen. So
If I'm picking a vampire movie, I'm going to pick that first.
yeah. The last scene in that movie is just cinematic perfection. So I don't know what's wrong with you, sir, but clearly movies might not be your thing.
Hey, accept it. I've accepted it. Movies are not my thing.
Yeah.
Just embrace it, pal.
happens.
We don't watch movies.
It happens.
We fuck instead.
Ian Wharton, Glenn Smith, Miss Riss, Megan Holmes, Mushroom Ollie, Ashley Borchard, Savannah Anderson, Ryan Fortune, Trimmingham 65, Bree 74 Nay, Hallie Castrovinci, Sam Bork, Neil Keenan, Thomas A. Robinson, Cool Mag, Shannon, Gracie Meadors, John Call, Uncle Stinkfingers. Stinkfingers always makes you laugh, right? Stinkfinger.
It's a little creepy. Reminds me of a uncle and a priest.
Christopher Hensley, Israel Keiths, the little person in Mike's walls.
Fuck that. I'll fight him.
Hey, get out of my walls. Bryce Sanders, Amita, Jessica Ciampaglione, Garrett Barnett. That is the make goods. Thank you, new patrons. Sorry it took so long.
That's just the make goods.
Yes, blame it on the Patreon.
I better open a beer. We got a lot of work to do tonight.
Yeah. You ready to get to the new patrons now?
Yeah. I'm excited because they're new and imagine the world that has just been open to them.
Right? A lot of good stuff coming up.
6 years of content unlocked.
It's a lot of stuff.
It's like punching in a cheat code on Sega Genesis.
Yes.
You just unlocked a new character
That's it.
on Mortal Kombat 3.
That's very good. Yeah.
I loved Mortal Kombat as a kid.
Still love it. Her face, ass, titties. We covered all the bases.
That's it.
What about her punani?
I'm going to throw in some thighs if you're asking me, but
Jondon, Chelsea McKay, DD Power. Is it double D Power, like titties? Double D Power?
probably.
Dave Sing Seether, Ian Pontificate, Mike Cuck My Face. It's very specific.
Dave, do you want to sing Seether while I fuck their face?
I mean, sure. I don't mind. And
Seether
Ian
the one
stands
that
in the
does-
corner and calls
Just
us.
thinks about it.
Yeah.
Does
Right?
Seether sing Kane's theme song? Who does Seether sing?
I don't know.
Do you remember Kane's one with the words? The
don't think so.
wonder of the world behind me. Dun, dun, dun.
No.
Anyways, it was unmasked Kane, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah, that's not my cane.
No, hashtag not my Kane.
My cane doesn't have speech.
No,
He can't talk.
no. He could just make fire come up from the ring post.
Yeah.
Oh, my cane will destroy all of you. Oh, yes. Raylan Crowley, Casper Nielsen, Great Lettuce, Foreskin the Uncut, Carol fucking Baskin, Kirsten, The Mark of Cain, Fluffcat 1000. Is that like the Gawk Gawk 5000?
What was it?
Fluffcat 1000. Tory Virgin, Blair Mills, Matthew Mabry, Tammy, Modern Dagger Tattoo. Is that a tattoo shop?
Probably.
Quentin Wren, yours truly, Katie, Mike Shelton, Joachim Hoyheim, Caitlin Belanger, Kelly Payne, Tobias West, and Patterson Gremlin. Thank you, new patrons. Welcome aboard.
Ian, what do you got on your end?
On Patreon, we just did an episode on Estefania Gutierrez Lazaro. I'm sure I pronounced that terrible, but we just did an episode on her. It's a very creepy
Really creepy.
Ouija board involved in it.
A very sad story.
It is very sad because there is a real, a girl did die.
Spoiler alert. I'm sorry.
Spoiler, but go check it out. We all kind of questioned our belief in the paranormal a little bit.
Yeah. Super creepy.
We also did a kind of fun wrestling show
Yes.
recently, talking about wrestling managers, our favorite wrestling managers. It's not like a greatest hits list. It's, I want people coming at us. It's our favorite ones.
Yeah.
Talked about some wrestling managers, which is be a good time. I always like talking about that. I'm still baffled that people enjoy listening to us talk about wrestling, which
I am too.
it flatters me. It makes me feel very happy. But like at some point, I feel like the other shoe's going to drop, and they're like, "Hey, can these assholes shut the fuck up about wrestling and just tell us more serial killer stories?"
And as you guys referenced earlier on our belt tier coming up this week, we're doing a show on death row last meals.
Yeah,
Gonna be cool.
we've discussed that for a while.
Yeah,
And finally,
yeah.
we're gonna dive into some last meals.
Yeah.
This is good. That'll be a good fun show.
We'll pick them apart. We'll rate them. We'll maybe even get into what our last meals might be.
I can tell you right now, my last meal request will be denied by the state, and I'll leave it at that. That is final. Dave, anything else on your end?
Nope.
All right. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at Necronomipod, patreon.com/Necronomipod. Amazon.com, search Necronomipod for all of our merch, and necronomipod.com.
All right, you guys ready for a cool down beer?
Cheers.